between the judiciary and the Bar Association. What about that relationship? You say, okay, hello, remember the ethics by which we stand by. What happens to all of that?
No, the Nigerian Bar Association, with respect, for now has been hijacked by very senior lawyers, senior advocates of Nigeria, who are not really very bothered, very, with profound respect, who are not disturbed by the crisis
in the judiciary,
in the justice sector. And comfortable lawyers who believe that the status quo should be maintained. And that is why some of them have the temerity to attack the NJC for the renewed resolution or determination to cleanse the audience table. Some of our colleagues are not comfortable. But I'm happy concerned judges and progressive lawyers are coming out boldly to declare solidarity with the NJC. And that's all that is needed for now.
But we still have comments coming through because, I mean, some time ago, Senator Victor Domagba, he also talked about the fact that he was not comfortable how judges, you know, the ease with which they grant bail to terrorism suspects, because he said, look, that the Anti-Terrorism Act allows, I think, for them to be held for 30 days if they feel it's in the interest of the public to do so. But some judges don't comply with this.
No, if you have such cases, they should be reported. Such judges should be reported. Are you with me? I mean, I am pursuing a case now in which I found that 197 people who were jailed by courts for drug trafficking were not found in any prisons. Yet, there was no option of fine. Now, I've taken it up with the government. I've been ignored by the Office of the Attorney General, but I'm pursuing it. Oh, you can't have a country where people are jailed and they are not found in prison. It makes a mockery of the rule of law. And that is what is going on in our country. So you can't blame the judiciary. You need a bar. You need the Nigerian Bar Association.
Does that really happen? Sometimes you jail an individual and he or she is not in prison?
No, this is documented by a committee set up by the president. The Justice Gilbert Obanyo Committee report. And this happened in the Lagos area alone. Between 2005 and 2006, 197 people sentenced to prison by our courts. But as soon as the trial judges turned their back to go to their chambers, a criminal syndicate of prosecution counsel, defense counsel, and warders, prison officials, gather around the court premises to negotiate with the convict.
Wow.
And once you pay to your home, you go. And, of course, back to the nefarious trade in our country. So, it's a very serious crisis. And I've drawn the attention of the leadership of the bar to this.
And they haven't said or done
you have time for a lot of problems. That's the attitude. That's your business. So, it is a very serious crisis.
Wow.
And so, when the NJC, under the new leadership, of the Chief Justice, the Honorable Justice Mukhtar, decides to challenge the status quo, you don't expect that everybody will queue behind her. Because there are people who feed every day on the corruption in the judicial sector.
For such move, what kind of encouragement or support would she be needing from the country?
No, it's to join issues with those who are harassing the NJC, so that the NJC can move. I mean, for instance, they are saying, some of Justice Tarba was not given fair hearing. What do you mean by fair hearing? A petition was written against a judge. She's asked to make a representation. A hearing was conducted. A committee was set up, consisting of his own colleagues, at least 3 judges. They listen to the witnesses and listen to the defense of the judge before recommending to the NJC. What human rights violation can you allege? And people ask, he gave the man the highest punishment under the law. Yes, it's 2 years. But Nigerians are never told that there was a meeting between the judge, the prosecutor and the defense counsel, where they agreed in what they call plea bargain, which is for the rich, where they agree, the man is going for a custodial sentence of 2 years, no option of fine. But after that meeting, I think another meeting took place. By the time the judge was going to pronounce sentence, he said, yes, 2 years imprisonment, but pay 750,000 naira. And the man who obviously had information, prior knowledge of what was going to happen, brought out his checkbook and wrote a check. It was on his way home that the EFCC rearrested him. So when in a country where somebody was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment in Edo State 2 years ago for stealing bushmeat, and another one has just been jailed 45 years in Osun State for stealing a handset worth 50,000 naira. And then you say somebody who has a man who just patted him on the back.
It is the same thing Chamberlain raised, and we have some of these.
So you can't run a country like that.
Even though we say everyone is innocent until proven guilty, you have a terrorist suspect before you, and we dilly-dally about it. We've seen the seriousness in other countries, how they pursue all of that. You just told us about what happened even in Boston and so many other places, even in South Africa. The speed with which they pursue some of these serious and grievous offenses against the state.
That is what you call rule of law. It's not here.
We don't get to see that here.
No, because the government of the day is here to appreciate that you can't have law and order in any society if you do not have the rule of law. And in such a situation, and that is the difference between us, don't go to Europe or America, talk of South Africa, even talk of Ghana here, even Benin Republic. When a Nigerian goes to Benin by road, the moment you get to Seme border, you adjust yourself. Unlike here, where everybody is higher than the law. A big man is higher than the law here. In Benin Republic or Ghana, the law is higher than you. And that is the measure of civilization. And that every criminal suspect who is arrested will be investigated, if indicted, will be prosecuted.
It hasn't always been like
we
this.
don't prosecute.
Has it always been like this?
No.
So why?
It's a total
where did
collapse
you go
of
wrong?
values.
How did that happen?
The agencies that are responsible for prosecuting, for investigating criminal complaints are no longer committed to the eradication of impunity in our society. And that is why, on a daily basis now, amnesty is quietly granted to criminal suspects.
And this is where the bar should have made a difference.
Oh, yes. That is where the bar has to stand up. I mean, have you heard the Nigerian Bar Association, supporting the bar association is not supporting the NJC in the ongoing attempts to reform the judiciary.
That's strange.
Oh, yes, it is strange, but that's what I've told you the reason. Wow. The Bar Association we used to know was independent, was committed to the rule of law. And I do hope, I understand there is a conference in Lagos now, a 2-day conference on the rule of law. I do hope that the Nigerian Bar Association will re-examine its position and see how this country can be a nation under the rule of law.
Because that is the
life. But that's not there now. It's not there now.
Wow. But we heard a lot of comments. People wonder what's going on, because the moment people begin to think, look, it's the rule of force and not law, then there's trouble.
Oh, yes.
We've heard a lot of comments these days about people talking about 2015, what will happen if a certain candidate is not returned. What do you think about this kind of
No, those guys, again, this is part of the problem. In a country where you have the rule of law, those guys will have been rounded off and charged to court. The least you can do to them is to drag them to court and bind them over to be of good behavior. And if they repeat such reckless statements, they go to jail. But in this environment, anybody can do anything and get away with it. And also, once you believe you have the support of the authority, and this kind of irresponsible behavior also discourages the security forces from enforcing the law. Right now, we have just 5,000 kilometers of pipelines all over the country. Or 5,000. Instead of empowering the police,